Jova joye, koko menyoma na meranula, neme kuma joye, atie menyoma na verome.
As a boy, my introduction into being disciplined was to not scratch the bump that itched. I just wanted to see how long I could go without scratching a bump. As I grew older, the single most important thing is to keep your word. Do what you say you're going to do. If you don't think you can do it, don't say that you will do it. And that requires a lot of discussion. First of all, if you do what you say you're going to do, you have to understand whether or not it affects other people, especially your family. And if it does, you have to discuss that with them before making a decision. I do not give in to things that I like to do if they need to be done. I do not have a like or dislike on what I have to do. That's it. People waste a lot of time. They feel that they have to watch TV, they have to play with flashing light gadgets, they have to deal in social media. All of this is junk. You don't need to do that. It destroys your mind. It keeps your mind from being able to think. There are three things in everybody's life. First of all is doing the necessities. Second is doing what's important. Third is doing what you desire. All necessities and the top half of the important are to be done alone when you're fresh. And you figure out what is on the top list of what needs to be done, the necessary, and do that first. You devote the most time to it. On the bottom half of what's important, you can do that with other people, like having to wash the car. You can have other people around and socialize and play with the kids and all of that kind of thing. The desires are not to be indulged in on your way up because there's not any time to do it. The thing that I learned to do as a boy was, since I could not have time to do desired things, I learned to make fun out of hard work. And so whatever hard work I was doing, I found something to please myself in it. And so that's how I combine the two. People do 50% unnecessary things, and if they just got that out of their system, if they eliminated that, they could get everything done that they need to do. You do the necessities first, and you do the important second, and you don't have time to do the desires until later on in life. It depends upon the level of ambition that you have. I always wanted to be my humanly perfect best, and that left no time to do anything else. Most people don't care, and if they don't care, they need to set an idea of a ladder going from earth to heavens. How high up on that ladder do they want to go? If they want to go midway, then they have time to play as they go along. If you want to go to the top ladder, there is no time to goof off. And goofing off does not include being rested and getting yourself in order by being in nature. Nature is the most powerful thing people can do, and they don't realize that. But that nature puts your whole system in order, in vibrational order. And that is a necessity. Also a necessity is being able to play and have fun. But you do that while you're working, on your way up. When you get to a certain place in life, then you can do what you like. It depends upon the personality of the authority. With the police, I don't have anything to say. I'm quiet because they have a license to kill and they are eager to do so. With anybody else, my policy was never to depend upon anybody for anything. I do not permit myself to be involved in anything where somebody can fire me or hire me. So I don't have to put on airs or be inferior to anybody. I don't feel that anybody is superior to me, and I don't feel anybody is inferior to me. So if I'm talking to somebody, I will tell them straight up that I'm going to tell you the truth, and it's up to you to deal with it. As a boy, it was very necessary for me to satisfy myself. And for that reason, I always strove for human perfection. And if I got anywhere near it, then I was satisfied with myself. Or if I got even move up one rung of a ladder that was very difficult to do, I was satisfied with myself. Therefore, I did not need anybody else's approval. It just doesn't matter whether they like it or don't like it, because they're not putting anything on my table. I am no better off and no worse off whether they like it or not. It just doesn't matter to me. I like me. There are two broad categories of religion. One is where everything is done to help the individual reach the potential of their greatness, their spiritual greatness. The other category, which is infinitely larger, in fact almost except for African tradition, is to not show you how to do these things or make it available for you to learn how to do these things, because they don't want you to know. They want you to follow what they tell you to do. That is called mind control. I like African tradition because it's up to you to find out what is the best standard in the cosmos. And the best standard comes out of the laws of nature, as discussed in African philosophy. And once you learn what those, I call it, they're spiritual elements of unconditional love, truth, reality, and the natural. Once you learn these things in their various forms, that is what you live by. And you do not need anybody's word or suggestions as to what to do, because they don't know. People are ignorant, but they don't want you to know that they are ignorant. And it's the job of the individual to find out what is the finest thing in life that is unchanging and to live by. It is for this reason that every day I have studied ancient African philosophy for the last 55 years. Prior to that time, I grew up in a neighborhood that was supervised by ex-slaves, and they told me about African tradition. I was impressed by it because it goes by everything that you can see in nature. Nature is the manifestation of the unknowable God. And you can know the unknowable God by seeing what is done in nature. And if people follow the processes of nature, that's their best source of knowledge for how to live. Nature is the four spiritual elements. A human being is made in the four spiritual elements. A human being is made as part of nature. Everything that's in nature is in part of a human being, so they're not separate. All of it is connected. As if a bunch of people would be thrown into water, they would all be connected by the water. Well, people are socialized to believe that you should be social. And they carry that too far. There are two parts of it. One is that one must take care of oneself. That's the first law of nature. And one has an obligation and a responsibility and duty to carry out one's pre-birth assigned missions in life. And that those missions are contained in one's talent. Now, those talents mean that some people are sociable and some people are not. I am not one of the sociable people because I could move faster alone by myself. I don't need to join anything in order to feel sociable. If I find good people, then I like to socialize with them on my own time at my own convenience. But I call it spiritual selfishness. I was put on earth to do a mission, and whatever requires for me to do that mission, that takes precedence over dealing with anybody else. And in order to get prepared to carry out a mission takes all of my time. I don't know where people find so much time to do all of these other things that they do. I just don't have the time because I have to prepare to get myself in order.